Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Death card. Okay, now don't freak out. The Death card really is one of the best cards in the tarot pack. It should really be called the card of change, of evolution, of transformation, of becoming, right, of growth, of letting go, right? But calling it death really gets your attention, doesn't it? This is the card of that fundamental force in the universe, the inevitable change and growth and progress through life, right? This is the card that says we have to shed our skin, we have to let go of what is no longer serving us, and we have to move forward with intention, on a path with heart, right? And we will experience the miracles and blessings of life. So let's put this card into a little bit of context, right? Let's see how we are transforming. What are we letting go of? What are we embracing? And how can we be co-creators with the universe? So let's see. We're going to put more cards out in our Dove and Serpent spread. We have an 8 of Wands, Princess of Swords, Queen of Wands, 4 of Cups, and a Knight of Wands. Look at that. Very fiery energy. A lot of fire going this way. I think you are taking an active role in your life, you know. You really are taking charge, taking control. I think that you are done wasting time. You're done being indecisive. You're not slowing down. You're speeding up. Spirit is saying, go, 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 right? If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's put the rest of our cards out on the table here, and then we'll get into the details. We have a Knight of Pentacles. We have a 10 of Swords, a 3 of Pentacles, and a 3 of Swords. I think that we are letting go of a lot of painful memories, for one thing. I think we're letting go of guilt. We're letting go of shame. We're letting go of anything that is no longer nourishing us. Yeah. We've got that 10 of Swords. Let's select our mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to set it down right here with Belsnickel right on top. Cheer or fear. Belsnickel is here. Now, if you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. Okay, let's use our intuition. All right. Looking around the room, it's very interesting what we've got. The only major arcana card we have is this Death card. This is what Spirit is trying to show you. Everything else is how you are responding to this. Okay? Now, maybe you have experienced a loss recently. I feel as if have both of your parents passed. Sort of getting this feeling that you have these two. If you look at this, you've got the Queen and the Knight of Wands on both sides of you. I feel like you do have two spirits, right? Two spirit guides, two angels on either side of you, and they're supporting you. You have one sort of holding each hand, and they're pulling you forward, you know. And so I don't know, maybe these are two parents or grandparents or something like that, but there's a pair, right? There's a pair of spirits with you. And I feel like they are leading you through your life journey. Sometimes kind of like, sometimes dragging you along, but sometimes you're running forward and they're behind you supporting you. So through the good times and the bad times, I feel like you have this. There's a pair. There's two of something in your life. Either it's two parents or grandparents that have passed, or you have two guardian angels, or you've always had this feeling of there being two of them. It could be twins, some kind of a pair, right? But Spirit wants you to focus on your transformation, your growth. What can you let go of and reclaim that energy and use that energy to bring in more of the good things of life, more of the joy. Yeah. This is your spiritual work right now, letting go of the past, grieving, honoring your feelings, honoring the process, letting go, and being part of this forward movement. Sometimes when we're in what may feel like grief or mourning, we feel as if it'll never end. That it will keep going and going, inevitable, infinitely. But it's a process, and it is always moving. We're always moving through, moving through that process. I think that Spirit is, or your spirit guides, anyway, let's say, are trying to stoke the fire a little bit. There's a sense of urgency here. I wonder if there is something quite significant in your life right now that Spirit or the spirits want you to drop now. Quick. Done. Right? And maybe this is a feeling of stagnation. Maybe this is a guilt or a shame or a regret. Right? So this could be a feeling. It could be a particular relationship. That Spirit says, or the spirits say, no more, stop now, immediately, urgent, right? We have that Eight of Wands. It's an urgent feeling. And to me, it feels as if sometimes this is us with anxiety. Sometimes we got the jazz hands. Sometimes we're tap dancing on the shag carpet. You can't see, but I'm doing it right now. We're getting antsy, right? We're getting ants in the pants because we know that we need to move forward in a direction. Maybe this card is saying that we're not really sure which direction. Yeah. We do have a lot of fire here. We've got water, air, and air. And we've got our earth energies. So the water is kind of up there in the water tower, enclosed, encased, frozen. We need something that's going to open up the tap, and all this water can come rushing down on everything. That refreshing, healing water, the blessings, right? The good vibes. Yeah. Because we do have this rush of fire energy from the past to the future. Quickly. I feel like there is a sense of urgency, but maybe there's not a sense of purpose. Maybe we don't know which direction we're going right now. Yeah. With this Four of Cups, it's sort of a feeling of stagnation, and I think this is sort of looming over your head. It's a state that feels like it's frozen in time. It's never going to change. Well, the fire is going to thaw this ice cube out. The Death card is reminding us that this is a stage we are passing through. And I think this is a stage where we may be approaching not even sorrow or sadness, but just apathy. A feeling that I don't care about anything. Right? This could be a feeling of I'm not experiencing any joy. I'm not so stoked about anything. I don't know what to be fired up about. Right? Could be us feeling as if there's a purpose out there for us, but damn it, where is it? This card is really one of your very special cards. It's the Moon in Cancer. Okay? And it's right at the top of our spread today. Now, you'll have to excuse me if I hit the cough button a few times today. Obviously, you can hear my voice isn't doing that great. My throat's killing me. My chest is on fire, and I should really go to bed after this. So bear with me. All right? I appreciate you sticking with me. The Moon in Cancer. Obviously, the Moon rules the sign of Cancer. So you're very much affected by the waxing and the waning of your emotional body. The way your emotions, your moods fluctuate, right? But what if this mood has been stuck like this? And what if this is not really a very fun place to be stuck? It's not the worst. It's not the best. Kind of stuck in this very even Steven, almost a bland, gray kind of feeling. We're at the corner of Gray Street here. Right? So it feels as if we're sort of, the fluctuation that we're used to, our moods, yeah, some days are good, some days are not so good, some days are real high, some days are kind of low. It's okay. There's movement. It feels like the water's flowing. We're comfortable there. We know how to exist there. But on Gray Street, we don't know how to live. We don't know what to do here. We start getting anxious. Okay? There's something that Spirit needs you to let go of in order to move forward. Something to get this water flowing. Sometimes the Four of Cups is really just saying, hey, you need to get out there and treat yourself. You need to do something today. Let's do something today, all of us, myself included. Do something today that feels good. Do something today that makes you smile. Buy yourself a new pair of shoes. Buy yourself a new fancy jacket to wear on your YouTube channel. Get the scoop of ice cream. Do something that brings a little bit of joy to you. Preferably with a friend, a family member, or a loved one, but by yourself is fine too. Go to the store and find a little something shiny, sparkly, that makes you feel good. It doesn't have to be a material thing, but sometimes that's the easiest thing, especially if, like a Four of Cups is suggesting, don't really know what we want. I don't know where to go, but I know I can't stay here. Sometimes the easiest thing is just something superficial. A meal. Go have your favorite food. What is it? It's pasta, right? Go have some pasta. Go have a little bolognese or something. And just to feel what it feels like to be sort of cheerful, right? The Princess of Swords underneath everything, I think you've been trying to figure out what's missing from your life. What do I want? How do I unleash more blessings? How do I feel happy again? We're trying to maybe look at it intellectually. And I tell you, Cancer, this is something we're good at, right? The emotions, we sort of get, sometimes they get stuffed in that box. And the intellect is sort of guarding the box and telling everyone, keep out, stay away, right? We tend to compartmentalize. We tend to stuff our emotions down in a box, and we just get into this over-intellectual, this hyper-rational state. Yeah. But see, it's kind of different now, because now the intellect is down here, and the emotions are up top. And this really could be significant. It could be saying that, hey, right now, we're not over-intellectualizing. Right now, the emotions are there. That we feel, and the problem, though, with the emotions is that we're focusing on them, but maybe not quite feeling them yet. We're feeling them as the jazz hands, as the anxiety, right? But at least we're not questioning it. We're not interrogating ourselves, right? And I think that's really good. I think this is a good start, to unleashing the miracles of life. And really, I feel that very soon you're going to feel this burst of creative energy. And this zest and zeal is returning to your life, and you're going to be making such progress. You're making up for lost time. You're going to do things in a couple of days that, would have taken years to do. Going from past to future in a flash of this Eight of Wands, right? The Queen of Wands is looking at the past and looking at all the things that you've done in life, all the effort that we put into things that really didn't bring us any happiness. How much time and energy and money have we spent investing in things, in people, in activities that really didn't bring us any kind of joy? I think maybe this is what we're done with too. And we're done with maybe the guilt or the regret or the anguish of this fact. I said, okay, fine, yeah. Some of my efforts have been sort of misplaced, Sometimes I gave too much attention to certain people or things, didn't really deserve it. That's okay. I forgive myself. Yeah. And then in the future position, we've got that Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is saying, goodbye past, hello future. Right? And now I think we're being very discerning about where we're putting our attention, our effort, our time, and our money. We're not wasting another moment on anything that's not deserving of it. Deserving of our moment. Deserving of our time, effort, and energy, and money. So I feel like we're getting very excited for the future. Because we've let go of the past, we sort of feel like we're traveling lighter now. When let's say you've been wearing a heavy backpack all day with books or bricks in it, right? And it's just very heavy, you've gotten sort of used to it and your shoulders hurt and all this stuff. As soon as you take that backpack off, you feel so light. You feel like you're floating. You feel like you can run fast. You're like the Flash. That's what we're doing. We're cutting away a lot of these heavy weights that have been just dragging us down, holding us down, an anchor, sort of. And I think the anchor really is suggested by these two up here. By recognizing what our anchors are and cutting those MFers loose, getting them gone. And then we feel that light. This is just like that horse in the cartoon. That's just like dancing around the corral, And it's just, it's light, it's fiery. You're quick on your feet, floating like a butterfly kind of thing. Yeah, this feels really good. And I think we do need a little bit of direction, but it's kind of the path of not here. Because we know that we don't want to be in this, perhaps an apathetic state or this gray street. So we cut the anchors. We know where we do not want to put our energy. So maybe that's half the battle. Maybe that's 99% of the battle, is knowing where we don't want to be. Everything else is a pretty good idea. I like that a lot. I like the Knight of Pentacles a lot, because now we're looking at the future. And we're seeing a life that is full of miracles and blessings and joy and success and results. Now we're seeing a future where our efforts are making a difference. The Knight of Pentacles is looking at the Ten of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles now can see a better future, can see the paradise, the palace, the garden. I want to get there. Maybe we don't know the road to get there, but we'll just go exploring. We know generally where we want to go. We'll figure out the path along the way. So we're ready to be in this present moment and figure it out one step at a time, one day at a time, knowing all the while in the back of our mind that we're going toward the palace. We're going towards the kingdom, going toward our best life, the life where miracles happen, where blessings are real, where we prosper, where we're getting better, healthier, happier, right? Whatever your goals are. So the Knight of Pentacles, then, you gotta have to excuse me one second. I'd rather hit the cough button than have to blow your eardrums out with my loud coughs, okay? It would kind of ruin the ASMR vibe, right? So the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, though, is that we have to know what our paradise looks like. What does your happiness look like? What does your best life look like? What do you want, right? It doesn't really necessarily mean that you have to know what your purpose in life is, or I'm meant to be a baker, or I'm meant to be a blacksmith or something, or a barber or whatever, or a ballerina. I don't know, all these B professions. It doesn't mean we have to know that. But I know I want financial freedom. I know I want family. I know I want food. I know I want fun, right? All the F things we want. We know kind of what we have an image of it, and it could be a symbolic image. It could be a very abstract painting, right? I kind of like the abstract surrealist paintings, and realism is okay too, but, you know, we kind of have to know those details if we want to do a realist sort of painting. I wish all of you could draw a picture or paint me a picture of what your best life would look like. Let's try that. I always say get out a pencil and draw a picture of your best life. Maybe get out your paintbrush. Paint me a picture. Is it going to be surreal or abstract? Is it going to be a realist painting? Is it going to be I don't know much about art, any other kind of painting. The point is, though, that we don't have to know exactly what our purpose is or what we're meant to do, but we do need to try to formulate the idea, the vision of what our best life would sort of look like. Right? Finances, family, food, fun, health. I couldn't think of an F for health. So let's do that. I think that's very important, to be able to look into the future and see where we want to start directing our horse. And the Ten of Swords in the environment, there is stuff you have to let go of in your life. We got to cut the anchors for these things. And these could be some very heavy weights, a lot of baggage. It could be issues from the past. I think there are issues from the past with those cards. I think Spirit is telling you to shed some skin. And as we shed that skin, all of the stuff that was attached to that old skin goes with it, right? So it might be really completely just kind of starting completely over in your life. Just putting down everything, just kind of clearing off the table and putting things back together in a much more satisfying way. And if you saw the rest of my desk, I have stuff over here, I have stuff over here on my desk. Sometimes I think I should just tip the desk over and let everything come crashing down. And then I can just sort of build it up I'm kind of a minimalist. You wouldn't think that about me, right? Considering how my desk looks. I'm kind of a minimalist, so it's starting to get a little cluttered for me. But that's the vibe with the Ten of Swords. Sometimes we just want to sweep everything off and then place things back one by one very intentionally. Okay? So if this is a business, if this is an artistic project for you, or if this is just life, or if this is just relationships, it's kind of like the feeling we just want to move to a new town in a new place, just be anonymous and build our life up from scratch. You know, build new friends, new job, but this is kind of like, if it's a business thing or a creative thing, it's like sometimes we just gotta throw that painting away and get out a new canvas and start again. drawing a new picture. Okay? We're getting rid of things in life that are no longer nourishing to us. There's no meat on the bones of this card. Why do we keep feeding ourselves on the same thing when all it's doing is cutting up our gums and poking our throat? It's not actually feeding us. Okay? And there are things in your life that are like that. It's like you're just eating the bones of the fish. You're not actually eating the meat. You know? I think I could live my life as a pescatarian. I love seafood. It's the Italian in me. My wife and I are considering for the holidays to do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. I saw it on a movie once. I want to do it. Anyway, we have to understand what things we are trying to feed ourselves on that are not actually nourishing us. Relationships, habits, endeavors, things that draw our attention. Are they worthwhile? If they're not, sweep them off your table. Okay? And I think that is, that's really the name of the game. Because we're trying to get, this is like, look at that the Knight of Wands is just so lively. This is after the snake molts. After, Scorpio energy, right? After the scorpion molts. This is that fresh skin, that fresh exoskeleton of the scorpion, right? It's just so youthful. It's so pliable still. It's so just it's the vigor of youth, right? Before we really get encrusted with stuff in life. This is the feeling when you clean out your garage and it's just like it's wide open. You can dance around in your garage. Slowly things are going to start to accumulate again. This is the scorpion or the snake after molting and just feels like, I can move again. It's like I'm 20 years younger. Yeah. This is what it's all about, getting this kind of youthful vigor back into our lives. That's going to melt the ice for sure. The Three of Pentacles in the obstacle. It's the understanding the process of creation on the physical plane. Okay? Trying to be in harmony with the process of change. Sometimes it's difficult to get the ball rolling in endeavors like this. It's very difficult to get out of this holding pattern or this safe harbor that we're in, right? Sometimes it's difficult for us to just start the process. It's kind of like when you got your garage full of stuff, it's hard to get started. Once you throw a couple things away or donate them or sell them or whatever, it gets easier. It gets fun. You get addicted to it. Pretty soon you're throwing everything out. Just don't go overboard. But it's kind of, when we're looking at the Ten of Swords as well, it's kind of the difference between slowly going through our stuff and donating a few things here that we don't need versus throwing everything out, just getting rid of all of the stuff and then finding the things that we need to bring them back in. It's the same thing, but different vibe, right? It's kind of looking at things from the different ends. I'd rather take everything out of the room and then just put back in the little pieces that I want, rather than have this big cluttered thing and say, okay, what can I take away? It's really the same thing in the end, but it's just different approach, okay? And this is the card of kind of understanding what you're good at. How can you do this work? What method, what protocol is going to work for you? Yeah. So you have to understand what your strengths are. You understand what your weaknesses are. And we can make a decision, make a plan based on that. Now, this card in connection with our Three of Swords. Three of Swords is sometimes a card of sorrow, of heartbreak, of loss, of lamentation. It gets a bad rap, that Three of Swords. Look at it. It's very dark. This is not an energy that I want to feel in my soul, right? I don't want that in my aura. But it is the card of memory. Okay? And it's the card kind of the imagination. It's you understanding the power of your thoughts. Okay? And it's kind of saying that in this swirling dark mist of this card, we can see the green. It's black swirling mist, but it's a green tint. There's hope in there. There's love in there. That's the green, verdant energy of the Empress, of Venus, right? We have an imagination, we have a psyche, a mind that has the potential for creating love and beauty and joy and bliss. Out of the swirling blackness of our minds, we can create any images we want. Really, this is the power of your imagination. It's the function of the mind. You can use it to produce anything you want. If you can imagine it vividly enough, often enough, it will materialize. Your body will sort of start to do that. You ever notice that when you think about something, when something's really in your mind, and then suddenly you notice like your hand's doing it, or it's kind of the same way, whereas in a dream, in your mind, you're imagining that you are, cutting paper with scissors, right? And then you sort of wake up and you're going like this. And it's weird, What we imagine is the same way too, that if you're riding a bicycle, I tell my daughter this all the time. If you're riding your bicycle, wherever you are looking is where your body's going to go. So first comes the mental image, then comes the behavior. And a lot of the time, we're entertaining something in our psyche, in our imagination. We don't even realize that our body is over here at the potter's wheel building the thing, because it thinks that's what we want, because that's what we're thinking about. You see, this is the art of manifestation, of materialization, of magic. And the Three of Swords could be your best friend or your worst enemy. What you entertain, what you hold on to in your mind, your body will start building it, even if you're not aware of it, even if it's not what you really want. So this is very powerful. You are very powerful. Let's look at our mystery card, yeah? Thank you, Belschnickel. Cheer or fear? I'm thinking cheer. I'm thinking Nine of Cups. I'm thinking Empress energy, right? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Cheer or fear? Let's see what we have. Page of Pentacles. I think it's cheer, don't you? I think the Page of Pentacles is realizing, because the Page of Pentacles is the same as the Princess of Pentacles. And if you've heard me talk about the Princess, it is that life that currently seems cold, sterile, barren, stagnant, empty, void, the dead of winter. No life, no verdant energy there. But look, there's verdant energy here. That life is here. If we imagine it, then we are going to grow that blessed life out of this. That we are attracting the blessings. That we are invoking the miracles. And this is going to grow into that beautiful tree, that beautiful garden, the Empress, the Venus energy. Of course, if we focus our mind on something else, that's what this will become. So we're looking at this raw material, that pentacle right there, that Ace of Pentacles. It's going to become whatever intention you place into it. If you say this is going to be rotten, you're planting the seeds of a rotten tree. If you say this is going to be delicious, then you're planting the seed of a, pineapple tree, coconut tree, right? A fig tree, an olive tree. A lot of trees. I apologize for my voice. This is getting really, really bad. I think this is good because it really does show the fertile ground that is your life. So once you clear the table, whatever I picture in my mind, that's what's going to be on my table. Our physical reality is a reflection of our mental reality. The same way that what we hold in our mind, even if we don't really realize that we're thinking these thoughts all the time, our body, our hands are just going to like start building it and say, here you go, this is what you wanted, right? And I say, body, I didn't really want this. Well, why were you thinking about it so much? You know, the body's just following orders, right? Anyway, I think this is really wonderful energy for you. We're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. There's a link up top and there's one down below in the video description. New readings for Cancer on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Shout out to my boy Post. He's having a wonderful time right now, my boy Post. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.